fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Core Class Decepticon Mohawk from the Transformers Studio series from Hasbro. This little guy was in about 5 seconds of Transformers the last night. It did a montage of like Decepticons getting round up and destroyed. So we didn't get to see him for very long, but I'm happy that he finally has a little figure here. We have the typical plastic-free packaging, so there's no window here on the front. You can reach right in and touch the figure. A little bit of artwork of him here in robot mode over on the side. Over on this side, more kind of an expanded, zoomed out view, so you can see the full robot mode there. Up here, you have the Transformers The Last Night logo. A little bit of art here on the tab as well. Up here on the back, we have some product shots of the robot mode and the vehicle mode. And you can see he transforms into this cool little bike. I'm excited for this guy. I think he looks really fun. I'm going to go ahead, get him out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Here he is out of the packaging, and I think this guy is just a ton of fun. He looks absolutely fantastic. For a little core class guy, he's got great articulation, really nice paint applications, and really not a lot of kibble. Of course, you have the obvious wheel pieces here, but they kind of act as decent little shoulder pads, and they don't really get in the way too much. And otherwise, I mean, it's a really clean robot mode, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to move these down just a little bit so we can get a good look at the head, because I love the head sculpt for this little guy. The Mohawk is fantastic. The paint for the eyes is great. It gives him that kind of weird, like, fisheye effect. You have these green paint apps all around, which they did a really nice job with. Even the little teeth are painted a copper color, which looks fantastic. There's a hinge here, so you can open and close the mouth, which is great. And then another little feature, you can actually pop the entire head off. So you can simulate the scene in the movie where his head popped off while they were destroying him. And that's amazing. I love that. It also allows the head to turn side to side, which is great. You have a nice ball joint here in the shoulder. So you actually have a hinge here in the like shoulder part of the body, of the torso, that can move up and down. And then you have a ball joint here at the actual shoulder. You have double jointed elbows for the transformation, but that gives you a hinge and then a ball joint there. Obviously, the forearm is one solid piece, but you have a little bit of paint here as well. And then he's got these claws molded in, which look great. He comes with this little knife. It's very basic, but I really like it a lot. Just this cool little knife accessory. And you can see that it has a little clip here. That is for storage in both robot and vehicle mode. So you can actually store it here on the back. It just pegs in right here on this little peg. And of course it doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. And you can even kind of have him like reach back for it, like the hand will kind of grab onto it, which I really appreciate. I think that's kind of cool. So we can store it there in the robot mode, but then there's going to be storage for it as well in the vehicle mode. I'm just going to pop it off for right now. So he's got a little bit of green paint over on this hand, and again he's got the claws. And he's even got this kind of like fin motif molded into the forearms, which is pretty great. No waist swivel, which is about the only thing he's missing, but I don't really think he needs it. A lot of nice molded in detail here in the chest. It's got great ball joints here in the hips, so you kick all the way out to the side, all the way back, all the way forward. Again, because there's really no kibble there. You have a hinge here in the knee, so you can kind of give him that like weird, you know, backwards knee bend if you want, or if you want to kind of keep it a little bit more normal, you can do that as well. It kind of looks like there would be a joint there as well, but there's not, just right here. A little bit of detailing and paint there for like a little piston. And then you have a ball joint here for the ankle. So you can kind of tilt to the side, kind of tilt to the other side. A little bit of front and back there with the ball joint. My only real complaint is I wish he had bigger heels. Because he's a little back heavy because of this, you know, large wheel contraption here that's on his back. And while it doesn't really get in the way of any kind of articulation, it does make him fairly back heavy. So you kind of have to just find the right pose. But you can. I mean, it's not hard to do. You just kind of have to position all these joints here in the legs and then utilize the little bit of ankle tilt that you get. And you can definitely find a pose for him. You might have to pitch him a little forward. So I do wish he had kind of longer heels. Really my only complaint. Otherwise, I think this robot mode is fantastic. Very nicely detailed, very nicely painted. Really good articulation as well for a core class. I was really happy with it. So yeah, all in all, this little guy is pretty great. Let's go ahead and get into his transformation. Alright, so it's a pretty simple little transformation, but really cool. We're going to start off, if you have the mouth open at all, you want to make sure that's closed. And then there's actually a hinge here on the back of the neck. You want to utilize that to bring this all the way down as far as it can go. So the head store's right there. Then you're going to take this wheel and just push this all the way up. And it's kind of fun. You can see that there is a tiny little cutout here for his eye. So we're just going to push that up, and that's going to sit right in there. Then we can kind of bring this one down, and that will kind of rest there. So you can already see the motorcycle taking shape. We're going to take the arms and utilize the double bend in the elbows there. And then we're going to bring these up. You have to utilize that extra little hinge in the arm, like the torso part of the arm. And you can see that there is a slot right here for this peg. And then there's a peg right there, which will peg in right there. So these peg in really solidly. So you just line this up and push that all in really nice and solid. We're going to do the same over here for this side. So bend this and then rotate this and bring this up. You just kind of have to fiddle with it a little bit. But once you get that all pegged in, really nice and solid there for the back. Then we're just going to take the legs and position them like so. They're going to come up. You can see that there is this tab right here, which is going to sit in this area right here. So if we bring this up, and this has a tendency, like this piece can move a little bit, so you have to kind of position it, play with it a little bit. But you'll also use this to tab the feet together. So once you make sure those are snug in on the sides, you're going to bring this down, and you can see that there's a slot right there, and that's going to be for this large tab down here. So you just bring this down, and that will peg in like that. And then there is our little motorcycle. Pretty cool. I do kind of wish the handlebars were a little bit more pronounced, because I feel like this does get lost a little bit in here with this kind of large bump. Because again, that's not a hinge, so we can't push it down any further. There's only a hinge right here. But otherwise, it's a fun little motorcycle. He's got some red paint here in the front, some white paint for the lights. And then we can go ahead and store the knife right here on this little tab. So if we take this and just pop this on here, like so, we have ample storage. You can kind of see the curve of the knife kind of nicely pairs with the shoulder joint there, so it doesn't get in the way. But yeah, he's a fun little guy. I like him a lot. He rolls pretty nicely. The knife can kind of act as a kickstand, so if you kind of lean it on that side, it won't fall over or anything like that. But even if you kind of don't, like, he can't really fall any further than that because of these joints here. So you're really not going to run into any issues with him falling over, which I appreciate. But yeah, rolls pretty well. Fun little motorcycle. It would also be kind of difficult to get someone to ride him just because he's overall pretty wide. But I still really like him a lot. The transformation is fairly simple, but still really fun. Holds together very well. I mean, I can shake this thing. Everything is pegged in really securely, so there's not really any issue there. Yeah, just all in all, I think it's a really fun little bike mode. So real quick, I just wanted to show off, like I said, it is kind of hard to get somebody to ride him, but not impossible. As you can see, I got wheelie on here, and actually looks kind of cool. Definitely not the best scale. You know, a little bit smaller figure would probably fit on here a little better, but this is the first thing I grabbed, and I thought it was kind of fun, so wanted to show off. It is kind of possible to have other core class figures ride on him here. I think this guy's a ton of fun. The character may not have gotten a lot of screen time, but I'm very happy that he finally got a little figure here. Really nice detail, nice paint applications, articulation's great. I love that the mouth can open and close. Also, you can pop the head off to simulate that moment in the film. So just all in all, really fun little toy. You know, for 10 bucks, I feel like you really can't go wrong. Transformation is fun, not too difficult, not too easy. Holds together really well, and it is possible to get some other core class Transformers to ride him. My only complaint, I wish he had a little bit better heels, because sometimes it's kind of hard to put him in a proper pose just because he does have that added weight to the back. But that's really my only problem. I mean, he's a really clean robot mode. I don't even really mind the wheels up here as the shoulder pads. I think that kind of works, and it gives him an otherwise really clean robot mode. So again, I'm really happy with the guy. Wish he had a little bit better heels. Other than that, he's a ton of fun. I didn't even talk about his little knife. That's just a stupid, fun little accessory. Really fits him. You know, kind of completes the whole, like, biker gang motif. I think that's really fun. So, definitely a recommend for me. I think the price is right. This guy's a lot of fun. definitely one to look out for. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.